Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Hess and I'm a Power Platform developer. Today I wanted to see how fast I could put together a time off app. This was a project of mine and I just wanted to put something together real quick and show you how I did it. Now when I'm doing these apps, I don't expect you to copy everything I do exactly. Maybe if you're brand new to PowerApps, you could probably copy it. But I feel like I'm giving you ideas and then you can do better than me. That's my opinion. These are normally just on my developer tenant. Like these are not production apps. So I skip a lot of the perfection, making it perfect, because then that would be boring in the videos. But what I like to do is give you ideas and then you guys, the audience, you build off of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a time off app and it's gonna be a Power App. And maybe we can put it in Teams. We can have a view in Teams. We could have a view in SharePoint, maybe make a link in SharePoint. But I'm going to start with PowerApps. And then we'll connect it to a calendar so you can see the calendar too. All right, so I'm going to have a couple date pickers here. So this is going to be start time, end time. And then we'll just have our name. So we'll just say this is going to be our name. So it'll automatically populate. So user, full name. So that's me. Okay. And then we're going to say like time off reason, I guess. We'll have a drop down. So a drop down. So time off type, I guess. At my company, no, we need to have like a code for when you take time off. You have vacation, you have just time off, you have leave time, I don't know what they all are, sick time, family time. Oh, we're at a great company. We have family time too. So there's different reasons you can take time off. And then let's put in a couple labels real quick. All right, so we have a nice simple app. Let's kind of, bring this in together. Because I want this to look good on Teams too. I want it to, be right there in Teams and look great. All right, and then we'll just kind of put that in the center. And then I'm going to create an arrow, so next. And then we'll ask like some simple questions. And I'll create a new screen. And then there'll be like a yes, no. Let's do some checkboxes. A couple checkboxes. And the question will be, do you have someone to cover your time? And we can pull that through, put that in the center. We have yes, no. Okay, so now when you think about this and you have a yes, no like this, right? I can click yes and no. We don't want that. So what I do is on check right here. I'll go to the checkbox and on check, I'll reset checkbox. I think this is 1. And on this one, I'll reset checkbox 2. All right, so on this one, we reset checkbox 1, which is actually on the right for me. And on this one, we reset checkbox 2. So when we click on one, yes, no, click off. That way you can only have one checked at a time. And then let's say if you hit yes, that we bring in a people picker. So we'll have a combo box. All right, we have a combo box, and then we're gonna create a connection to the Office 365 users. It's right there in front of me. There we go, Office 365 users. Okay, we're gonna connect to that. And then in Office 365 users, I have an equation. This equation is directly from one of my other videos, but you just go to the people picker, you paste it in, Office 365 users, search term, combo box 1, and then on the right side, you can click edit, and then you choose a display name. So when I click on it, I have my different users in here. So this is literally going to my Office 365, finding the top 10 people, And, we could search for people. I think I can, maybe, let's see, can I do, yeah, Luke Skywalker. So he is not in the top 10, but it only shows 10 at a time. As you search your people, we now have our own created people picker. And so we only want this visible if we click yes here. So this is our checkbox 2. So I'm going to say the visibility, let's see, check if checkbox 2 dot selected or dot value equals true, then true, else false. Okay, so now only if we have select yes, then the people picker will appear. So I'll create a back arrow, and this will literally just go back, or we could do navigate screen 1 on a fade. And I noticed this is like an update, like they don't let you just type fade anymore. You have to do screen transition.fade. Maybe that's just me, but I did notice that recently. So, okay. Screen 2, screen navigation, transition fade. Okay, so we have a couple options in there. We have our normal date pickers. And then finally, we will have another arrow. And this arrow will not be back, it will be next. But this arrow is going to, it's not going to patch, right? Like, I want to do an approval system. This is going to go to our manager. And since I'm going to use an approval system with Power Automate, my thought process behind this is why do I not patch is I'm already using Power Automate. I'm going to run an approval to go to my manager. Instead of patching and using get items and trying to find the ID of the one that I'm patching to, I will just use Power Automate to write the line to SharePoint, run the approval, and then when it's approved, we'll hit yes or no. All right, so I've been doing this on a bunch of previous videos. I'm going to create a calendar. I have a new SharePoint site here. I'm going to create a calendar, but I'm not going to create the old school calendar. No, I'm going to create the new SharePoint Modern list. So I'll create a list. It's a blank list. Leave time. So it's actually my SharePoint site is called Leave Time Off. My list is called Leave Time. We'll create this. I'll probably fast forward through it, but basically I'm just going to, create a few fields, or actually the exact same fields. And then finally we will have approved or not approved. And everything's a single line text. I just do that. I don't know. To me, it's easy. I can push this out really quick. If you try and, limit yourself to choice fields, you're limiting yourself. Single line text, I get a lot more power, a lot more control of what I want. Okay, so the first thing we do, it automatically takes our name, start date, reason. Do you have someone to cover for you? Yes or no? And then who? And then I'm going to run Power Automate from here. So I'm going to go to Power Automate on the left side. I'm going to create a new flow. All right, so when you do it in PowerApps, it's a little bit smaller. You kind of lose some of your real estate, but that's fine. I'm going to do a new step. I'm going to do an approval, but there's going to be a step in between this. I'll do start and wait for an approval. This is just easy. I'm just, you can kind of customize this. As I'm saying, you don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing. As you learn more, you can customize this. Everyone must approve. In between here, I'm going to do a step called Get Manager. And this is to get the manager of my name. So we'll pull that through also. I'll show you how we're going to pull in my name. So actually what we'll do is we'll just hit Ask in PowerApps. All right, Get Manager. Approval, yep. Then I'm going to write to SharePoint. So I'm going to SharePoint. I'm going to create an item. And then my list is the one I just created. Let's see if it shows up. It does not show up, so we'll go grab my site collection name. Grabbed it. It still doesn't like it. I'll put that in there. Okay, now leave time. All right, so now we have my questions here. So what I'm going to do pretty much is go through each one, and I'm going to say ask in PowerApps. Ask in PowerApps. And it's kind of, you got to be very careful here. Just do it in the exact order. It'll make your life easier. So I'm going to go through each one, scroll down, ask in PowerApps, cover, see more, ask in PowerApps, cover person name, see more, ask in PowerApps. Approved, we do not need to ask in PowerApps. That's going to come from our approval. This will be the outcome. Okay. So, etc. I think for now, that's, oh wait, we need to say the title, assigned to. So what you would do here is you would put your, from Get Manager, you would just put the mail in. Since I'm doing this in a dev tenant, I'm just going to put my name in here for now. I'll just put my name in here right now, just so I can demonstrate it myself. Will you approve time off for, and this will be the title, assigned to, approve or reject. I'm just going to hit save for now. All right, so we created a very simple Power Automate. And now on our button click here, instead of navigating, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that Power Automate. So this one right here, Power App. So it's right here. I believe we do .run. And you can see the fields that I said ask in PowerApps up here. Now, I'll zoom into this, but so create title. Let's go through. I'm going to rename all of my fields just to make it simple on me. So, you know, from right here, I'll say this is label name. I might fast forward through this. All right, so my first thing I need to fill in the run is the Get Manager. So I'm just going to say user.email. So that's whoever is applying this, I'm using their email. Next is the create title. That's going to be my label name dot text. So that is user dot full name. Start date, DTE start dot selected date. End date, DTE end dot selected date. Reason, that is drop reason dot selected dot value. Cover, this is if the yes box is true or not. So I don't really have to pay attention to the no. I can just say, okay, was the checkbox yes checked? So I can say check yes dot value. So no matter what, I'm going to be able to get that. Cover person is combo cover dot selected dot name, right? Full name, is it full name? Let's see, display name. All right, so I've gone through all those fields that I used in the Power Automate and set that off. I have an approval running. So let's test. I really don't think I'm ready to test, but let's go ahead and try. So we have a date from here to here. Vacation is the reason. Will someone cover for you? Yeah. Let's do Anakin Skywalker, and then let's run. So we've actually just ran the Power Automate right there. I do have an error. So it looks like a string error here with the date. So let me fix that. And it's good to show you errors. I really think the more I show you errors, the more we can run through some of the questions you have. All right, so this is good. It's not working correctly. So all I've got to do actually is change this to text, the date value, and put in the format I want it to look like. because it has a mismatch. So we're just going to do that on the end date also. So text. See if we can get that correct. All right. So we just want it, oops. And go back. We just want the format to match correctly, okay? So for the dates, I just said text, the date I selected, and then I formatted it to my United States format, the date. So now, let's try one more time. I click next, no error. This is a good thing. It's gonna run Power Automate. Let's go check out Power Automate. All right, so we had it running. PowerApps, Get Manager. It's waiting for an approval. Oh, it started. So we have the approval going. Let's see if we check out the approval. Since it's going to me and I don't really have my own manager, I made it go directly to me. This is an old one, but this is the one that I just created. Will you approve the time off for Andrew Hess? So I can approve that. Of course, it can come to Teams too if you have Teams open. And then we'll just say approved. And then now it's going to write to SharePoint. So now let's go to SharePoint, refresh. Not sure how fast that will be. It's done. So we can see that has come through and it is of type approve. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the calendar view. So let's go up here, create a new view, calendar. Start date is start date, end date is end date for the month, calendar. Okay, we have a calendar view. We can see my name is already appearing there. If we really want to get down to it, we can, and I'm just building off my other videos, right? We can manage this rules, show this column. Oh, we're not showing the column we want. All right, so this is another mistake I made. Actually, the reason we want it to be a choice field. I made it a single line text field. We actually want it to be a choice. So we'll just change it to a choice. We have vacation, time off, leave time, sick time, family time. All right, so this one I made a choice on purpose. It's easy change. We just went right back to it. Now we'll go back to my calendar. And the reason we did that is because we want to be able to conditionally format based off that choice field. So now, once we add that field to the view of calendar, so we'll go down to calendar, we'll make sure the reason is selected. We'll click OK. Now we can format that view, manage rules, edit. We choose our reason when it's equal to vacation, it's green. Save. We'll go back, add another rule. When it's equal to sick time, we'll make it red. You know, no one likes to be sick. And etc. I'll just do, maybe one more. We'll do reason is equal to family time. We'll keep it yellow. Family time is yellow. Okay, so we have a few in there. You get the idea. All right, so I've built that. Let's make this look a little better. We'll just put a square in here, a rectangle. Put a rectangle in here. I know this is very PowerAppsy looking, but this is what people do. Maybe we'll put in a theme. Let's do a theme. We'll go green, make everything green. And then we'll insert a label. All right, so I've built that. Let's make this look a little better. We'll just put a square in here, a rectangle. Put a rectangle in here. I know this is very PowerAppsy looking, but this is what people do. Maybe we'll put in a theme. Let's do a theme. We'll go green, make everything green. And then we'll insert a label. Okay. So we do that right here. We run Power Automate, and after we run Power Automate, we're going to then navigate back to screen 1. Then when we navigate back to screen 1, maybe we want to clear everything out. So in order to clear everything out, there is an easy way to do this. Let's see, option. So reset here, we'll change this to variable reset. I'm going to do that on all of my field types. So right here, reset, variable reset, and it's giving me a red arrow or a red X, that's fine. Change the reset to variable reset. On the next page, reset, variable reset, same thing here. Variable reset. Finally, here on the last one, variable reset. Okay, and then now on screen visible, on the visible of my screen 1, I'm going to say set variable reset to true. Oh, all my red X's went away. Everything should reset, but it didn't. Let me show you why. It's because we never went back to false. So on screen 2, I'm going to say on visible set variable reset to false. But this means when you go back, right now, that everything is going to be blank. Or so if you go back, it's going to reset everything. Maybe you don't want that, but that's how I have it set up right here. I'm just showing you how to use that variable to reset things. So I'm on this screen, I come back on visible, it resets. So maybe we don't want to do that on visible of the screen. Honestly, what we want to do is after we hit this arrow. So we have all this. We navigate back to screen 1, and then we set variable reset to true. All right, so let's try one more. We're going to do the 25th to the 28th. This time is sick time. Do I have someone to cover for me? Yes. Captain America. Boom, it's going to run Power Automate again. So Power Automate is now running in the background. I should get a new approval. This would go to my manager if I had a manager to do this. So I have a new, will you approve the time off? Maybe you want to put the time off up here. So let's do that real quick too, just to add on to this. Let's go back to Power Automate, edit. In the details, I'll say start time. Start date is equal to the start date here. End date is equal to the end date. Reason is the reason. Cover person name comes in. So now we have some more details. Okay, let's approve that last one. I'm going to hit save. All right, let's check out SharePoint. We now have the red one here. Let's check one more time, my final test. I'm going to run it again. The 18th through the 19th. The reason is family time. And do you have someone to cover for you? Yes. Who will cover for me? Batman will cover for me. I'll click next. Now it went back. Everything reset. Everything's running nice. We'll check out Power Automate this time. So this time in Power Automate, when I look at it, we can see the details in here. The start date is here. The end date is here. The reason is family time. Cover person is Batman. We can approve. Send that through. Now we can go to something like Teams. In our team, add my time off app. Now it's running in Teams. So we have our post time off app. We could probably rename this to request time off. We can fill this out. We can choose, the 20th through the 21st. We could do things, like not let this work if it's less than this start date. Of course, we can do that. Time off, or we'll do vacation. Yes, this person will cover for me. Okay, we have that running. Now let's do SharePoint. SharePoint, we want to be able to see that calendar. Actually, I think we could just do lists. So if we do lists, and then save, add list to our channel, add an existing list, leave time. But we want this to be the calendar view. We could then set as default. So now when we come here and we come back, we get to view our calendar. We can see when I'm off, when our other teams are off. So I just wanted to show you how you can take all those building blocks, how fast it took me to create a leave request time off. I'm sure you can build on this more. I'm not expecting you to copy my Power App exactly, but there's more you can do, like when start time is greater than end time, the button doesn't work. You may have to do some conditions that if this is blank, the Power Automate might fail. I believe the Power Automate will fail if it's blank. But if this is no, then, or if this is not checked yes, then this is blanked also, right? So there's all kinds of little gotchas that you can get into here, but I just wanted to show you how fast you can create a leave time request off in your SharePoint with Teams and a calendar, using modern calendars, color code it, all that greatness. Thank you. I'll see you next time. My name is Andrew Hess. Please like and subscribe, and we'll continue on our journey with Power Apps, Power Automate, and the Power Platform. Thank you.